ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5. We have completed, I wouldn't say completed, we have studied the first 9 shlokas. It has taken us a lot of time. But I am always insisting upon you that you get the real essence of the teachings of the Gita. And the excellence of Gita is, firstly, it is informative. It opens a new world for you, a world unknown to us. As we are busy with our life, our flow of life. So it is informative. It informs us there's another way of living your life as we are living today. There's a different way to lead our life than what we are living today. That is the informative part of the Bhagavad Gita. That information, when attracts our attention, it converts into an education. We try to educate ourselves by being close to those ideas. And finally, it is instructive, informative, educative, and instructive. What is instructive? What is it instructing? How to live that life and reach our promised goal. What is that promised goal? We want peace. We want to enjoy divine ecstatic joy. Why? Because we have seen people, the saints and seers, the incarnations, the Son of God, the Prophet of God. We have seen them and they are in a different level of awareness. Instruction hidden in these verses of Gita, informative, educative, and instructive, which tells you how to reach there. And what is that place? That place, that level of awareness, we call it sthanam, that place, that level of awareness, where nothing in this world, whatever calamity it may be, or however joyful it may be, it will not be able to disturb you. What to speak of disturbing you? It will not be able to touch you. What to speaking of touching you? Those so-called worldly mishaps will not be able to reach you. Disturb? No. Touching? No. Reaching? No. You are far, far above all this. The Gita teaches you that. So we would not say, at least I should correct myself, we should not say that we have completed the study of the first 9 shlokas. We should say we have introduced ourselves a new area of information, that is perceptual observation. This is what the world is. It is ever in a flow. Whatever you think is permanent, you try to hold it, and you find time has changed it. Life or the world is in a constant flow. In that constant flow, how can you think of permanency? If you think of permanency, the flow is permanent. So, this life, which we think promises a lot of happiness and joy and success and so on and so forth, this life of the world promises you, but has no capacity to deliver. It is like trying to quench your thirst, running after a mirage. All that happens is, more you run, more the mirage goes beyond you, and ultimately you die of thirst and exhaustion. The mirage remains a mirage. It appears to have water, but it is simmering air. That is what it is. So Gita tells you another method of livelihood, another way of life. If you follow that, then you will enjoy eternal, ecstatic, divine joy. Informative, educative, instructive. And the beauty of the Gita is, if you look at each and every verse, from the first reading, it is informative. You read again from perceptual observation. Reading is a perceptual activity. Then you think over it. Conceptual knowledge. Education is conceptual knowledge. And the third is intuitional experience. Anubhuti, aparokshanubhuti. You feel, this is what I am. That is the goal of life. I know I am, but I do not know yet who am I. I identify myself with what is not my true original nature. And that is why I love this precise language, the refined, precise Sanskrita. It is refined, it is precise language which says, Atasmin tat buddhi. I am not that. but I have identified myself with this body-mind complex and all that my sense organs, my active organs, and my 5 pranas, that is 5 avenues of life force, brings to me. And I keep on identifying myself with that. This is what is happening to me constantly. And I am a victim of situations and circumstances. And I think I am the Lord. I would say a total self-deception. Who are we? That is the goal of life. And when we know who we are, the motive factor is an eternal life with a divine ecstatic joy. This is what the Gita wants to teach us. Don't say you have studied the Gita fully. You may say, I've read it over and over again. But you have taken advantage of this study of the Gita only when you be and become one with your true original nature. Then you can say, yes, I've benefited from the perceptual experience which graduated into conceptual knowledge and ultimately intuitive experience, samadhi, or eternal life with the divine. This is one aspect, dear, which we must always keep uppermost in mind when we study this divine ecstatic text known as the Bhagavad Gita. There's another idea which has to be a permanent factor in your mind to take advantage of understanding what Gita preaches. There is a word known as Maya. It has various synonyms. Maya Shakti, Ajnana Shakti, Avidya Shakti. What is that Maya, dear? A thing which is not so appears to be so. That is Maya. What is the concept? Just now I told you, a mirage. It appears simmering water in ripples. But there is no water. It's an optical illusion. But people who are thirsty, they run after that, and in the process, they die of exhaustion, but they never reach it. Ever running, never reaching, nor even a distant glimpse of shore. That is Maya Shakti. All Ghatana Patiyashi Maya. Things happen in our lifetime which we could never dream of, but it happens. How? The cosmic energy which is being managed by the divine is at full play. We humans, we are under the thumb of Maya. We are Maya Adhina, under total control, under the total pressure, thumb of Maya. And what is God the Divine? He is Maya Adhisha. He is the ruler of Maya. That is Ishvara, the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, the concept of the divine, the creator, the preserver and the destroyer, that is the person who controls the changes happening every moment. That is the concept of destruction. What is present, next moment becomes past. What was future becomes the present. And this goes on. The future becomes the present and the present becomes the past. That is destruction, change. And he is the ruler of that change. That's the concept of the divine. Where does the Shakti disappear then? And look at Sri Ramakrishna's parable. He gives you a beautiful example. A snake is said to hibernate during the winter season. The snake is totally dead. But that very snake becomes active when it comes out of its hibernation, and it is active as ever. Even if it bites me, I will die. Where was that energy hidden? It was lying hidden in the snake. It was potential, it became kinetic. Similarly, this cosmic energy, which runs the whole universe, is under the rule and care and obedience of God, Lord God of the universe. All religions believe, excepting the atheists. We have answers for them also. Vedanta answers for them also. We'll come to it later on. Every religion believes the presence of the divine, and we are Maya Adhina, under the thumb of Maya, under the rule of dictate of Maya. God is Maya Adhisha, and Nirguna Brahma is Maya Atita. There is a stage through your meditative process, you identify your true original nature, Nirakara, Nirguna, Nirvikalpa, Brahma. Nirakara, without any akara form, without any name, without any form, without any shape, without any mutation, change. It is eternal, beyond time, space and causation. Maya Atita. Atman is Maya Atita. Brahman is Maya Atita. But for our understanding, helping us to grow and to educate, the scriptures make it easy. Brahman is qualified with two prefixes, Nirguna Brahma and Saguna Brahma. What is Nirguna Brahma? That which is immutable, inflexible, beyond time, eternal. Without any name, without any form, without any quality, without any value, but it is eternal, it is awareness personified. Sat Chit Ananda Brahma. What is Saguna Brahma? The ruler of the world where Maya Shakti has been kinetized and he rules it. This is what Maya Adhisha is, and we are Maya Adhina. We are subject to the influence of Maya. The purpose of the study is I, a Maya Adhina Jiva Atma, I have to, through my perceptual observation, which builds up a conceptual understanding, knowledge, and ultimately through self-imposed, devoted, determined, dedicated discipline. Mind 4Ds. Devoted, dedicated, disciplined, determined effort. Mumukshatyam. I will try to reach that goal. That completes the circle of evolution. Of all biological creatures, we are the most evolved as far as our present day knowledge goes. This evolution should grow, and ultimately it takes the form of a revolution, and in your lifetime, proportionate to your unending effort, you realize your true original nature. That is the end of the ball game. Now, these are the three different points, dear, which I would request you to remember every time you study the scriptures, especially the Indian scriptures. Informative, educative, instructive. Now you see the 9 shlokas that we have read. Pardon me being repetitive, but it is developing conceptual knowledge. Repetition of an information that you get leads to conceptual knowledge. What does it mean? It helps you to develop a rock-solid, crystal clear intellectual conviction. That is conceptual knowledge. Repetitiveness helps perceptual observation, reading with your eyes, thinking with your brains. You come to a conceptual knowledge, which in other words is a rock-solid, crystal clear, intellectual conviction. And what is intuitive knowledge? That knowledge, intuitive experience, not knowledge, experience. Pratyaksha anubhuti, aparoksha anubhuti. What is aparoksha anubhuti? By culturing and cultivating these ideas with determined, disciplined, devoted endeavor, you reach that goal. The 5th chapter and all other chapters follow this principle. Now, we have studied 9 shlokas. We have read them and discussed them over and over and over again. This repetition is the stepping stone to conceptual conviction. Arjuna is a mouthpiece for human society. Maya Adhina Purusha, under the thumb of Maya. Arjuna represents all of us. He is our mouthpiece. He translates our questions in his own words to the divine. Incarnation of God, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, incarnation of the divine. And Lord God of the universe, in the form of Sri Krishna, answers them. What more authority do you need for an area which is an imagination for you? You need an authority. You go to your professor because you think he's an authority in the matter. And what he says, you accept it. In the spiritual journey, God is our authority. And he speaks to us as Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. He speaks to us through the Quran, through the Bible, through the Zindavesta, through the 7 gems of Judaism, the Torah, whatever you may say, the Granth Sahib, and anything. They are the words of the divine to help us to reach that goal. How did it all start? Sri Krishna spoke about 2 very common words. What are those common words? Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa. Sannyasa and Yoga. The words are so familiar to us, especially for the Indians, the Hindus. Karma and Sannyasa. What is karma? Performance of the duties of your life. And your life has been divided into 4 chapters. Brahmacharya, Garastha, Banaprastha, Sannyasa. Brahmacharya from birth up to 16. The period of learning and self-education. Garastha is the life of a householder, where you are asked to put into practice what you have learnt. That is Karma Yoga. And that Karma Yoga leads you to total detachment, non-attachment. And after 50 years of age, from 16 to 50, you have your children, your family, you settle them down and you walk out on them. Enough is enough. Now it is time for me to cogitate on the whole life's experience and try to be one with God, away from the family in the hills and the forests and the dales. Vanaprastha. And when you mature there, you go in for total sannyasa, total detachment, and you're one with God. That is your life's journey as planned by the scriptures. So the word sannyasa, the word karma yoga are common to us. it is common to us phonetically, sound-wise. What does it mean? When I ask you, what does it mean? I'm afraid we'll all draw blank. So, let us understand what karma sannyasa and karma yoga is. Karma sannyasa is after your education, before you decide to be a householder, you are at a crossroad. What do I do? Do I become a householder or do I become a karma yogi? What is the difference? And a householder is a karma yogi, but a part-time karma yogi. And a sannyasi, karma sannyasi, is a whole-timer. His whole energy goes to the pursuit of reality. And a grihastha has divided attention. After all, it is his duty to look after his family. My family, I have to look after it. You cannot be a karma yogi. Why? Because my family's demand on me is such that my ego has to be respected, and the sense of duty holds my ego by my neck, and I have to perform my duty to my family, which I have chosen. There's no escape. A. What is karma sannyasa? Karma sannyasa is very funny. I live in this world, but I don't have a cup of my own. When I have a family, my cup is my family. The needs of the cup has to be fulfilled. The cup must be full. Then only I can think of something else. Let us be honest to ourselves. Then only we can think of ourselves. But a karma sannyasi doesn't have a cup of his own. The whole world is his cup. Vasudha eva kutumbakam. However, it may be politically oriented, but the inner meaning is he is a servant to the whole world. He sees God everywhere. Without his ego, he gives his best correctness, thoroughness, perfection, excellence in his day-to-day performance. And he gives it to God. Sir, this is what I have to offer to you as my worship to you. He converts the concept of work into worship. This is theoretical. Please allow me to divert a little. I'll give you 3 examples, and I'll leave it to you to tell me which you think to be the best. In ancient India, not so old, I have lived in them. In the rural, eternal India, every village had a small little mud hut outside the village with a thatched roof. It was known as Santa Nivas. The mendicant monks who on foot move from one pilgrim to the other pilgrim. In India, there was a walkaway, as it were, throughout India, connecting all the famous pilgrims. And there were sannyasis who made it a point to visit all the pilgrims, walking all the way and not begging for anything. That was their vow. And the villagers knew that the sannyasis move round this road. By the roadside, they made a small little mud hut and said, Sant Nivas. That is, a sannyasi at the end of the day, looking out for a shelter, he finds a ready-made shelter made by the villagers. And the villagers had a roster. This family will look after the Sant Nivas on Sunday, on Monday, and all the 7 days of the week. Several families. And believe me, only 70 years ago, I have lived in such a Sant Nivas. And what happens? As soon as night falls or it is dusk, the family on whom that day is fixed, the lady of the family will come and with folded hands will welcome you and ask you, sir, what bhiksha do you want from me? What food do I cook for you? Do whatever you like. Only make sure it is not spicy. Which should not irritate my stomach. Make sure. They will come, feed you, go away. This is the procedure. Now, 3 different realized souls. The first one, his whole life has been totally unconcerned about the external world. He has been totally involved in the management of his personality through the philosophy of yoga. So he's always meditative, unconcerned. So as usual, the lady comes, Sir, what can I do for you? No answer. Meditate. Make some noise, no response. So what can she do? She went back, cooked some good food, left it there, made some noises. He's meditating. Then in a loud voice she says, Sir, your dinner and your breakfast tomorrow morning, I know you leave tomorrow morning. Don't leave empty stomach. Here is your dinner and here is your breakfast. Please take it when it suits you. Next morning she comes and she finds the food has been eaten and the Swami. He's a realized soul, always in meditation, unconcerned about the world, but a realized soul, a Brahmanga Purusha. That is his way of life. A few days later, the second Brahmanga comes. He was a little social. When the lady comes and asks her, what will you eat? Oh, you want to feed me? God bless you. Please give me some very plain food. Don't make it rich. I'll be obliged. Thank you, mother. Thank you. Thank you, mom. Thank you. When she brought her food, she woke up from his meditation. Oh, you have brought my food. Sit. Please feed me. To give satisfaction to that lady. Please sit in front of me and feed me. And she asked, how about your family? How is everything on? How many children? How are things going on? How are you financially? Just like an ordinary, sympathetic, empathetic human being. Thanks her profusely and says, you can take away the leftovers. I could eat the whole of it. And as far as breakfast, you leave it behind. Good enough. This second person seems to be, though a Brahmagyani, but a little more social, responsive, interactive. After a while, a third Brahmagya comes. And he is very alert. As soon as the lady comes, bows down, yes, my mother, mother of the universe in this form, what can I do for you? No, you must accept my bhiksha. By all means, mother, by all means, what will you feed your child? As homely as that. And informed and all that. The usual tradition is no Swami should stay in a place for more than 3 nights. On the second night, a young boy, the only child of a widowed mother, was bitten by a cobra snake and died. And the whole village, that's one family as you know, were deeply in agony, weeping, wailing and all. The Swami heard. What's happened? He goes out of his room, asks what's happened. This has happened. Where is that widow's house? Show me the house. She goes there, sits next to the widow, solaces her, talks to the villagers, satsang karte rahe, as you know, they spoke and etc., comforted them. And he did not leave the village, continued with his activities till the whole village came back to its feet. And with the blessings of the people of the village, he took leave of them with a long prayer, seeking their blessings. Why? His way of reaching Brahmagyana was through method of seeing the divine everywhere. Now the distinction is, I am aware of my true original nature in my meditative position. I don't project it outside. I say it is all Maya. But I have reached my goal. Partial. The other is halfway. And the third. He lives in this world. He interacts with this world. But he interacts it how? Seeing the divine everywhere. Now, dears, you tell me, of these 3 types, which appeals to you most, what you would like to become? Tell me. I can tell you on your behalf the third one.
Yes.
I can tell you. Why? They vibe well with us. They are not those high-browed sannyasis. Don't touch me. Don't come near me. Don't do this. Don't. I am a Swami. He sees himself everywhere. Sarva Bhuta Bhuta Atma. Here now, Sri Krishna has suggested in the third shloka, Gya sa nitta sannyasi, yo na dveshti na kamshati. Please see the third shloka. Gya sa nitta sannyasi. He says, of a karma sannyasi and a karma yogi, I say karma yogi is better of the two. Vishishyate, openly without any reservation. Vishishyate. That is, be a Brahmagya. But Brahmagya in its true meaning, Brahman is nothing else but the Atman, the Jiva Atma with limitations has become Paramatma, one with Brahman. And he sees himself everywhere. Your problem is my problem. Your sadness and misery is mine. Your joy is mine. I am with everybody. That is Nitta Sannyasi. But how did he become? Na dveshti na kamshati. He does not become a victim of attachment or aversion. The two motivations in our life. We see the world, either we are attached or we turn our face around, averse. There is third space, Udasina Bhat Asina. You see the game, the Leela of the divine play. I am a part of that play, this whole world. Gya sa nitta sannyasi. Jo na dveshti na kamshati. Nirdandho hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. You know what does it mean? He says the third category of the example that I give you is the easiest way of reaching that goal. A whole-timer karma yogi. That is what you are supposed to be. Now, we have read the first 9. Although the time is over, but I was a bit late today, so you have to suffer for my delay. Let us start on the 10th shloka. From the 10th shloka onwards, informative, educative, instructive. Let us read it first. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tvakta karoti yah lippate nasapapena paddapatvam ivam bhasha. Please don't get scared. The language is so systematic that if you know the starting rules, you're a master of the language in no time. I will break it up for you, translate you, and you will be happy to understand. Bhajya sparsheshu ashakta atma. 4 words. Bhajya sparsheshu ashakta atma. Atma here means the Jivatma, I. What is Bhajya? external to me. Bahi, external. Internal to me is my mind, my intellect, my ego. That is internal. You can't see it, I feel it. But we all see the world external to us. Sparsha, contact. My eyes are not diseased. I open my eyes and I see you. I can't stop it. But, the big but comes in here. If I know you, if I have developed a relationship with you, if I am attached to you, which is normal, you don't have to try to do so. It spontaneously happens in the domain of Maya. I am attached to you, I say I love you. And you ask me questions, I feel hurt, my ego is hurt, and you come in front of me. I am averse to you. Why? I don't gel with you. This is spontaneous. Sri Krishna highlights this spontaneity of our way of life and living as of now, as a Jivatman. External perceptions, perceptual observations. Ashakta Atma. You have cultivated or you cultivate instruction. This is the information. Now the instruction comes. Be asakta, not attached, not involved. This is the instruction. This is the secret of your new life's journey. If you choose to live that life. Bhajya sparsheshu asaktatma. Well, this table, this marble slab, doesn't react. But whereas I am a living, vibrating, active organism. I am an animate object. I am not inanimate. So, does it teach, if I only take this much, does it say I convert myself from a vibrant, robust, living entity into a stool, inanimate object? Is this what spirituality is? Goodbye. I don't want such a spiritual. I am a human. He immediately corrects. Vindati atmani yat sukham. No, I'm sorry. It comes later on. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam takta karoti ja. Yah karma yogi, a whole timer, sangam takta, without any attachment, he performs. Brahmani adhaya karmani. That's it. I am a karma yogi. Here Brahman is Saguna Brahman, Ishvara. I offer my wholehearted performance or my duties to the society. Why? The whole world is mine. I am not separated from you. All of us say I am. That amness is the highest common factor in all of us. Amness. So, that amness is the expression, manifestation of the divine essence of the universe contained in infinitely diverse containers. We are, this body-mind complex is a container. And what I know as I am is the essence which is contained in all of us who say I am. I am is another way of expressing my existence. The world is another way of expressing the existence of the world. There is nothing else but absolute true existence as an essence, and the whole universe is nothing else but different containers, nama, rupa, guna, artha kriya karit. That's it. Brahmani adhaya karomi. This teaching, you say, Swamiji is teaching the Gita, studying the Gita. Good enough. To you, Swamiji is sitting here teaching. To you others. What does Swamiji feel? Have you ever thought of it? For the last 78 years, I have been practicing. And what is practicing? A tug of war between remembering and forgetting. As simple as that. Remembering and forgetting. Remembering and forgetting. Remembering and forgetting. And because of my earnest desire, determined, devoted, disciplined desire. What happens? The remembrance increases, forgetfulness decreases. And a time comes, I don't have to make any effort to remember. It has saturated my whole being. So what is happening to me? You may see, here's an individual, we are all individuals and we are interacting. What do I see? I see my Ishtadev, my Ishtadevi, in the form of gentlemen, in the form of ladies, of infinite diverse characters, is in presence of me and accepting my offering to him the little that this body has acquired, offering as a worship. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tvakta yah karoti. That is the first line. Broken up into words. What happens to him? Read the second line. Lipyate nata papena. he doesn't make the mistake of getting attached and the resultant happiness and misery, getting averse, resulting into turmoil of anger within itself. That is sin. Sin is nothing which drops from the skies. It's a feeling of regret and feeling of divine ecstatic joy. Punya and Papa. We regularly translate as vice and virtue. Please put it in you and try. That there are occasions when you are in a divine ecstatic joy. As of now, this is punya. Punyatmak paristhiti according to Maharishi Patanjali. And what is papatmaka paristhiti? When I burn in regret, anutapa, anusochana. When I feel like kicking myself because of my misbehavior, misconduct, misunderstanding. Lipyate nasapapena. With all these words, he gives you a plain example. Padma patra iva abhasa. Padma patra is a lotus leaf. Patra is a leaf, Padma is lotus. You have seen a lotus leaf. If you pour water on the lotus leaf and you hold and play with it, it looks like mercury. And as soon as you drop the water, there's not a stain left. Live in this world like a leaf of a lotus plant. You know, the examples are extremely educative. In the Prachin Nyaya, the school of logic and definitions, Maharishi Gautama, the founder, he describes what is a true example. Lest we make any mistakes. Jasmin arthe laukika parikshakanam darshanam na vyaharnate sadrishtat. Jatha drishti samyam sadrishtant. Shortage. What does it mean? An example is an object in the world where the teacher and the taught, they spontaneously, automatically agree. Don't touch the fire, it will burn you. I have burnt myself. We have all exposed ourselves to fire. We know it burns. I say it is as hot as fire. I have nothing more to say. You have understood. I have found out an example. Padmapatra is an example where your and my views agree without any further discussion. The swan in a lake, it swims, it dives, it lives in water. Not a feather is wet. That is why a realized soul is called a Paramahamsa, the sublime swan. So dear, this is the 10th shloka. I took a long time in introducing the concept of Maya Adhina, Maya Adhisha, and Maya Atita. And a Jivana Bhakta Purusha who lives after is Maya Mukta. He is neither Adisha nor Adina. He is Mukta. Jivana Mukta Purusha. A realized soul. My dears, by the way, I'll be absent on Sunday next. There will be no Gita class. I'm very sorry. So Sunday next, we carry on. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.